Pope Francis now in his final resting place after a funeral mass was held just a few hours ago. NBC's Ann Thompson is in Vatican City with more. And this was really a remarkable outpouring of emotion that we witnessed today, not just on the ground, but frankly from people around the world.
It really was, Peter. It was a day of both sorrow and celebration, a surprisingly grand occasion that was also very personal. Applause greeted Pope Francis as his coffin made its way to St. Peter's Square this morning. More than 200,000 people were in that square and spilled out into the streets of Rome. Among the heads of state, President Donald Trump and former President Joe Biden. But there was applause for only one, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy. Trump and Zelenskyy met before the funeral to discuss the Ukrainian war. That's a war Pope Francis pleaded for peace in many times, and he also pleaded for peace in other wars. Pleas that were remembered today by Cardinal Battista Re. Francis put mercy at the center of his papacy. Re told the crowd, with President Trump sitting just feet away, he repeated one of his favorite phrases, to build bridges, not walls. There was sustained applause and whistles heard through the square as the Pope was carried back through the Basilica and placed on the Pope-mobile for the final leg of his journey. Traveling through the streets of Rome, cheered by 150,000 people, going past the Colosseum and other sites, ending at Santa Maria Maggiore Basilica, where he is now buried. Starting tomorrow, people will be able to pray at his grave. Peter?
A solemn day beneath just a beautiful spring sun there in Rome. And now walk us through what happens next. There, of course, will be the conclave to elect the next pope. When does that process start? How long would we anticipate it takes?
Well, we expect to find out fairly soon when the conclave will begin. That date was being held until after the papal funeral. What will happen next week are meetings of the cardinals. They will get together in the morning, sometime in the afternoon, to discuss issues in the church, but also to meet each other, because this time they come from 72 countries. Now, who's on that list? Well, there are a lot of people who are looked at as potential papal contenders, but two of them we saw today. One was a Filipino Cardinal, Louis Tagle. The cameras caught him several times. Another man mentioned is the Secretary of State here at the Vatican, Pietro Parolin. But just because they're seen on camera doesn't mean they have an edge. There's a saying here at the Vatican that he who goes into the conclave a pope comes out a cardinal. There are lots and lots of names on people's lists, and we'll be seeing some of those people in the next few days. Peter?
A process that will play out largely in private over the course of the next several days, perhaps weeks. Ann Thompson there at Vatican City. Ann, thank you.
Hey, thanks for watching. And don't forget, you can catch the Today Show every morning on NBC, or take Today when you're on the go. Just follow the Today podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen.